another video on the channel. Apologies, it's been a while. Can you tell it's been a while? What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Apologies that it's been a while since the last video on my channel. I did try to get a road to 100 uploaded to my channel, but unfortunately that footage corrupted, and I know it sounds like a great excuse, but I did. I'll put that in when I put that next video up. But I just want to say quickly as well, the last two videos that were on my channel, there were two games related to the old firm, and they both done amazing on my channel. I got hundreds of new subscribers, hundreds of likes on the videos, lots of comments from you guys saying you enjoyed the videos, and I appreciate that support so much. Today's video, however, is going to be me briefly going over the game against Lokomotiv Tashkent. I won't go into it in great detail because, after all, it was only a friendly. But I'm going to talk about as well some of the players that I've got returning back to the squads, or if certain players have a future at Rangers. So before I go into analysing the match details and that, we're playing against Tashkent, an old second in the Uzbekistan League, only formed 18 years ago, and Derek Johnson during the Rangers TV commentary compared them. He said they'd be lucky to be mid-championship table in Scotland, so yeah, take of that what you will. Naturally, with these friendlies, you're just expecting to see lots of different players getting minutes in the legs and just getting ready for the games coming up in the second half of the season, because last year, very similar. We beat Celtic at Ibrox, great performance, everyone was on a high, and then we came back after January and the results just went like, we just ruined our title hope. So hopefully that stuff doesn't happen again this year. We have the opportunity to go top of the league when we play our game in hand. We've beat Celtic, everyone's on a high, and we've played, well, it's not an intense game, but it's good to have minutes in the legs and keep the guys fresh, and hopefully they can hit the ground running and play as we did in that old firm for the rest of the season. The game being on Rangers TV today, they were charging you £10 just to watch the game, a mid-season friendly in Dubai. Like, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. Like, I think that is extortionate for a mid-game. Like, for that type of game, that should not be that much, maybe a £5 or something at most. And if they do it, if they did half that price, I think at least double the people would pay for it, and they would end up getting more money anyway. But hey, I'm no marketing expert, but it just seems logical to me. And then especially when people are paying a tenner for the game and everyone missed like the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game, absolutely not on. But anyway, one of the most exciting parts about the team in the first half was young Patterson playing at right back, playing where he could potentially take our current captain's role. And to be honest, I thought he played really good. I thought he was a standout in the first half, looked very comfortable on the ball. He looks like a young guy full of confidence, flying forward. Like we said, spent more time in their half than ours, which majority of the time that's what a Rangers fullback will be doing anyway. There was times where he had solo runs where he was dribbling past 3 and 4 players, so he looks very comfortable with it at his feet, and he was cutting back as well and putting crosses in with his left foot as well as his right, so very promising. We started to score on off early. Arfield and Defoe, we know them two have a good link up together. Arfield into Defoe, plays it out wide to Ojo, and then Defoe doing what he does, getting into that poacher's area where you know he's not going to miss if he gets a good delivery, and Ojo, right foot on a plate for Defoe, 1-0. The second goal came from a lovely pass, lovely first time pass from Jack. So good, outside his foot, right into Ojo's path, exactly when he needed it, and with his right foot again, a right foot assist and a right foot peach into the top corner, may I add. Fair play to Ojo, it was a great goal, but the pass really made it. Fair play to Ojo for scoring in that way. Now, speaking of Ojo, of course his loan runs out at the end of the season. I put a poll out, and here's the results of that, saying if you guys think that Ojo should be staying around at the end of the season. And a point that I put out there was his 2 best games seem to have come against Lokomotiv Tashkent, right, who were comparing to like a mid-table championship team in Scotland, and St Joseph's of Gibraltar. Like, that's not the best of teams to having your best games against, because that's showing you can do it against teams at that level, but can he do it at a higher level? Ojo is a player who's been taking a lot of stick, to be fair, and sometimes he has quite deserved it, because his performances have not been up to scratch. He had one good game against Feyenoord, of course we scored the winner in the only game, well, the only goal of that game, sorry. But you can see from the poll there, so from the people on my Twitter anyway, he's still not a popular one amongst the fans. The first half defensively, we were very comfortable with Big Katic and Edmondson at the back, and Patterson again the 45th minute when Lokomotiv had one chance. Well, they had their free header from a corner earlier on, which they didn't make much of, but that really was a chance to be fair. But on the 45th minute, Patterson recovering well. He was 2 or 3 yards behind his man to start with. Showed great pace to get there and blocked it, and actually won as a goal kick from it. Going into the second half, there was indeed 11 subs made, and some of the players that was going to be interesting to see how they performed was Jones coming back after his injury and being out for so long. Doherty had a chance, and he first played in goals, and wasn't really, well, you weren't thinking he was going to get tested much. And then Halliday made an appearance as well in the second half, of course, amongst others. As you'd imagine, the second half just continuing our dominance, and Davis, it was a lovely goal. A better keeper might have got it, but it was still a fantastic strike anyway. Underside of the bar, down and up off the roof of the net, so it's a lovely goal when you watch it. It's awesome when they go in that way. Davis showing that he's got more to his game and good reading, tackling and passing. He's also got a great shot on him as well. And something more about Kent, he's an ankle breaker, and he was doing it again today. Breaking ankles, getting to that byline for the 4th goal, dinked it over everyone to the back stick, where Captain Tav came in, wins his header at the back stick. Well, he's unmarked at the back stick, so it was good positioning from him. And it's something that we've missed from him, because he'd done it in the lower leagues. He's not scored as many goals as recently. I don't know if it's because he's getting told not to get as forward as much, but today he had that licence and he was rewarded with a goal. 2 more youngsters, Kennedy and Maxwell, come on halfway through the second half, and to be honest, they never really had that much of an impact in the game. But the game was dead at that point. It started to slow down because we were in cruise control by that point, so it was unfortunate for them to come in, and they didn't really have much that they could prove and do at that time. They never done anything wrong. Well, the clean sheet got ruined, to be fair, when Maxwell and Halliday were at the back. Ball over the top. The camera angles weren't the best to see like where the positions were at first, but I can literally hear Gerrard now. I've not watched his post-match reaction yet, but I can literally hear him complaining about the clean sheet already, and the accent and everything. Like Maxwell and Halliday between them just couldn't stop. At one ball over the top, and Firth, so the one shot he conceded in the game, and it was a goal for Lokomotiv, and unfortunately we never kept a clean sheet. Our 5th goal came with Jones in a dangerous position, picking up a penalty. This time it was a penalty, not like he's dived earlier on in the game, which no idea what that was about, but this time he won the penalty. Stewart's tucked that one away nicely, and again, Jordan Jones deriving, like, reminded me of similar to, of course, a bigger level, but like that when he's played against Midtjylland in that European night, where I thought that was his best performance as a Rangers player. Driving right through the middle, laying players off. He laid this one into Greg Stewart, who's finished it and got his 2nd goal for the day. But I thought Jones showed something that we'll be missing. Well, we've got it in Kent, but he's another player that just takes that ball and drives, and I think he will be really influential for us for the second half of the season. That's going to be all from my review of the game, guys. Let me know what you think of the game and who impressed you in the comments below. It was definitely Patterson was the standout of the players today from surprises, because I didn't expect him to look that comfortable in what would be the first team. I'm going to talk about now some potential ins and outs in the January transfer window, but to be honest, ins are not looking likely. Gerrard said it himself, would be surprised. Maybe one at the most. There's a few Croatians, one Lovro Major. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. It's probably something different Croatian, but that's the one player that we've seen as the attacking creative midfielder. You've only seen clips on YouTube, but everyone looks great from clips on YouTube, so he's the only person that's been sort of linked towards coming with as the main player. But the midfielders who we've got that are still out on loan or came back, like Middleton, for example, he's came back to the club because his loan at Hibs, that was a bad idea in the first place, but in the end up he wasn't getting game time. Rangers have recalled the loan, so he's back now at Rangers. We've got Hasty, who's still out on loan at Rotherham. He's scored 3 goals in 14 games down there for them. Doherty as well, who's another one that I want to speak about, because at Shrewsbury in the English League 2, he's won Player of the Year down there. The fans absolutely loved him. But might that be his level? Has he got what it takes to stay at Rangers? So I put out a poll on my Twitter, and these are the results for who you guys thought deserves or has a future at Rangers. So as you can see on screen now, it's a lot of mixed opinions about them players. I'm just going to take a wee second to read out some of the comments that were made on that one. We've got Bob Steele here saying all 3 actually thinking they've got a future at Rangers. Doherty the least likely, to be honest, since he's the oldest of the 3. Can see all 3 of them going out on loan for the second half of the season. Middleton in particular, as he's still a lot of developing to do. People tend to forget he is only 19, which is true. He is young, he's still got a lot of time to learn, but from his times at Rangers before, it's just only thing we could say about him is he does seem, I don't think anyone would say this is unfair, he's a bit of a one-trick pony, because he's so left-footed and just wants to bomb in that left line, but he's literally got that much pace that it's hard to stop him. But it would be good for him to learn to cut inside and use that right foot as well. We've got CPRFC, who's kind of responded to Bob there, and of course talking about this as well. He's saying, can't see it, Bob. I don't think Doherty has the finesse or the touch that the gaffer looks for. Middleton is too one-dimensional, as I've just said there. And Hasty might have a small chance in for next year. My opinion about it would be the only one that I think may have a future, but not as a first team player, but as a squad player, would potentially be Doherty. I mean, Middleton and Hasty, they are still young. They could prove me wrong and could turn into a future star, and I hope I'm wrong. I always hope I'm wrong when I think Rangers players could do better. But like, for example, Borna, I had written him off like when he first came to the club, saying Halley's a better left back and all that stuff, and I put my hands up and say, yep, totally wrong, and I'm glad to be wrong because he's now turned into an absolute superstar for our team. Halliday's another player who just looks like his contract's going to run out end of the summer, and that'll be him gone. But I think Gerrard will want him to stick around because just as a squad player again, because he gets it, he's a fan. But I think Gerrard will let him stay around, doesn't want to rush to get rid of him, because I'm sure Harley will be happy to sit on the bench, because a lot of footballers nowadays aren't happy sitting on the bench, they want to play football. But when you're Halliday and you're in his situation, of course, boyhood fan, it's his absolute dream. Staying there till the end of the season and hopefully lifting 55 is just the absolute dream come true for him. So that's my predictions for him, just staying till the end of the season, lifting 55 and then looking at his other options. Jones is a player that I've seen has been linked to a few English Championship teams, and I just cannot see it at all. I think he's going to have a pivotal role in the second half of the season. Although Aribo has been coming on to a game in that right wing spot, I can see Jones more natural out there. Morelos, Kent and Jones turn up for the second half of the season. I think there's absolutely no chance that Jones goes anywhere. McCrory is a player that I'll be looking forward to getting back into our squad. 12 games is all he's played for Portsmouth when he's been away on loan. He's been playing a number of different positions. CDM, centre back, right back. He's been kind of getting thrown around down there. But I'm looking forward to him getting back. Gerrard himself in the past has said Ross McCrory is like the future of the club. And I'm of the opinion that I didn't want him to go in the first place. Because he can play that centre mid, CDM role, centre back, right back. I think he would make a really, really good right back. Although we've got young Patterson coming through now who's obviously more natural to that right back position. But Ross, he's just young again. Plenty of room, but the athleticism, he's got the pace, the tackling, the heart. I would love to see him stay at Rangers and fight for a first team spot. The three outs that we've had so far in January is Young, Atake, Grezda and Andy King. All three left with nothing but good things to say about Rangers, which Grezda he thought might have been a little bit of animosity, but he left saying, we are the people, hope he's winning 55. Sometimes things just don't work out in life, so every one of them had nothing but good things to say about Rangers. Fair play to them. Atake was saying he didn't really want to leave, but it looks like he's been told he wouldn't have a future at Rangers. That is just the harsh life of a footballer. So he's been told he can move on and find a new club. And then Andy King, which was just a strange signing altogether. Like, he's came from a Premier League win in Leicester, where he's like the highest goal scoring midfielder ever, and he barely got a chance for Rangers. Like, I think him with minutes could be as good a player as Kamara. Like, I say that, but I don't see him in training every day, but I would like to see him given more of a chance. It was a bit of a weird signing overall. As of this point in January, that is all that's happened in this January transfer window. Put down in the comments below if you think we need to strengthen in any positions, and what player, if you know one, would you be looking to try and get out there in this January window. And that is going to be all for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you're still here in the video, leave a like if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you in the next one.